Hopefulness 3.0, March 4th, 2026, part 2. It's done. It's over. Just like Frodo and Sam said. I'll show you. All that stuff. Packages, my art that I bought. That I'll figure out how to hang up once I get some hooks. More stuff. I don't have to poop just yet. Won't be too much of a problem. And more. It's done. Oh, also, that's the 2 remaining Japanese Kewpie mayonnaises that were at the USC Ralph's. So, sorry folks. They probably have some in the back. If they don't, well, tough shit. Speaking of Kewpie mayo, since I have, the reason I bought those is because I bought this. And I wanted to see the difference in ingredients. This one is 355 milliliters. This one is 465 milliliters. So 420 grams. 450 grams. Sorry, I'm tired as fuck. Vegetable oil, canola, and soybean. This one has soybean oil, egg yolks, water, distilled vinegar, egg yolks, vinegar, less distilled, less water, vinegar blend, which is malt vinegar from barley, apple cider vinegar, okay, then water. This one has rice vinegar diluted with water to 10% acidity. So the third ingredient is water, and then there's more water with the rice vinegar. White balsamic vinegar, monosodium glutamate. How much? There's MSG in here as well. Sugar. There's no sugar in this one, but there is sugar in the American one, if you call it the American one. Natural flavors, contains egg spice, natural flavor. This one has mustard flour, calcium, disodium, EDTA to check flavor. The thing about this bottle, and I'm not going to take it out, because I'm basically going to use this up. And I'm going to keep these in the pantry for now. One might say that I'm being a rich fuck and hoarding my wealth. But not really. I need to wash my damn hands. Let's put the pizzas over here on this old computer that's not on. I've been a busy fucking boy today, and boy, I have a lot of dishes to fucking clean soon. I gotta pay my rent at some point too. They were supposed to send me an email. The one thing that I wish I could do is set the camera up so that instead of pointing towards my bed, it points this way. I could try that. Maybe a box, but I don't know how well that. Let me just see what happens. So I'm gonna fold this box down, flip it over. Extendify you all the way up, and then what's that happens if I put it over there? So I guess it works. It's just a little janky. It's not exactly the best because like this tripod isn't exactly like the tallest. Yeah, I guess I could come at it at an angle. Let's see here. Maybe be a bit more. Yeah, I'll figure something out. Fuck it. I'll just do this for now. Let's not waste too much more time and stuff. But I want to get this. I want to try some of this pizza with some of this Kewpie mayo. So I got 3 different kinds of pizzas like I always do. I got a very custom format Philly cheesesteak. Unfortunately, it is not exactly a Philly cheesesteak, of course. So what I do is I get rid of the robust tomato. Let's put that's some smoked Gouda, not Gouda. As Gouda as it is to say that. Just put that in the pizza spot. Don't do that. One good thing about pronouncing that G that way, for me at least, is that it is very similar to an Icelandic G. I think it's Icelandic G's. It's very specific Icelandic G's, if I'm not mistaken. And in so doing, that gives me more practice, which is what flashcards are all about. So like the O with the umlaut over the top, the diaeresis, it's not a typical sound that is made in American English. The best video that you can watch, that I've been watching, that a lot of people online have been watching, there's a Discord community for Icelandic, for learning Icelandic. And even a lot of people on that Discord have linked to this video. It's the basic Icelandic pronunciation from Dr. Jackson Crawford. Very handsome dude, posted this video like 6-7 years ago. And he says it's kind of like how Arnold Schwarzenegger would, it's like the sound, but so like if you were going to say bird or heard or learn. So I have her, bird, learn, right? But it wouldn't be, it would be like and bird and learn. That kind of sound. But it's an O. It's not a normal sound in American English, so it's not something that you would typically just have on hand. Okay. So it's interesting. I'm getting the back and forth with this, so I'm using the QP, right? And on this one specifically, it has jalapenos and Italian sausage. So I get a jalapeno Italian sausage, I get a bacon with premium chicken, and then I get the cheesesteak, which is no sauce, no cheese, but then I flip it and I say, okay, now we're gonna do Alfredo sauce, provolone, and the Philly cheesesteak. The provolone and the Philly cheesesteak basically count for the two toppings. Oh God. GT's kombucha, the gingerberry is so good. There's some of their stuff I don't really care for, but most of their stuff I like. The same goes with Health Aid, and the same thing goes with like the Ralph's Kroger brand version of it, kombuchas. But yeah, I'm kind of getting like what this is reminding me of. So I'm getting that creaminess, right? And the pizza's cold, obviously, so the flavors are muted, like I had said before in a previous video. So I'll get a little bit of the flavor, and then the creaminess comes into play, and then the flavor, and so it's like doing this weird sort of back and forth thing. It's pretty good. 7 out of 10. Like, it's hard to beat. You know, it can be beat. It doesn't need to be. It's not something I would advise against, you know. Yeah, I've got so I got the practice here. Hold up. Because Ralph's has generally better options for cheeses out here. I'm sure there could be like a specialty cheese shop that I could go to, but those things are going to be way more expensive. The Ralph's that's downtown, wherever the fuck it is, probably somewhere around that area. I think they even have like occasionally wheels of cheese, like pieces of wheels of cheese. Which would be awesome, but I wouldn't know what to do with it. That's pretty good. But yeah, I wanted to go to that store while I still had some time left on the car. So what had happened, and it all worked out, like it all worked out exactly like I needed it to. Like today just worked. So I went downstairs. There was already a couple of people who were, you know, kind of waiting in the waiting area for case managers and types and stuff like that, because they needed to talk about somebody about. There's an office down the hall on each of the floors where there's supposed to be a case manager office, but it is what it is. I don't know how. Like this is a relatively new building. It's less than a year old. And let's go back to the cheese real quick. I always do that. I know I'll go off on a tangent and then I'll forget to go to the other thing. I'll try to remember. Case manager office. But the first time I ever tried chocolate and cheese together was when I worked at Bevmo in Pasadena, right? And that was interesting, and I liked it. It was interesting in a good way. And so I was like, well, let's keep doing this. It was, I don't remember the brand of cheese, but it was like an Applewood smoked bacon that you can get pretty regularly at Bevmo. And then the brand of chocolate was Choco Love. And I think it was just a sea salt chocolate. And so I tried, like I tried the cheese first, then the chocolate, and then tried the chocolate first, then cheese. And then like I tried to delay the distance between them because you get like a number of pieces, so you can kind of like really play with it. What I found was if you eat the chocolate first, you can chew it, you can savor it however you want to, but like basically once you're almost done with the chocolate, but not totally done, like you still want to be like 1/4 of the way left kind of situation. Then break off with a piece of the cheese and start going at it, right? Now the cheese, surprisingly, despite its flavors being reasonably strong, not powerful or anything, but you know, Applewood smoked bacon cheddar, had a relatively strong flavor to it, but the chocolate came out ahead, and essentially what had happened was the cheese made the chocolate creamy, which was really good. Like, really good. And so when I finally figured that out, and I had the money, I go up to coworkers and be like, hey, you've got to try this. And I was like, here's your paper towel, break off a chunk. Because here's also another thing. Don't bite your cheese. And slicing it, I would also not recommend. Because with the biting, you're getting the flavor already, but you're also not getting like the crumbly texture as much as when you bite or when you break a piece off, right? And so with that heterogeneous surface area, that's much more, it's much greater. You have greater surface area. Your tongue and the palate of your mouth get more flavor that way. Trust me. And the thing, and so like when you bite into it, you're kind of already sort of, you know, priming yourself for it, as it were. And so you're not getting as much of a hit as quickly. And the same thing, but similarly, it also happens when you slice it, because now, again, you're reducing the surface area. Because every time that you bite into it, yeah, you can break off the pieces of cheeses afterwards, that's fine. But if you like slice it into cubes, or bite-sized cubes, then you're not getting the same kind of surface area. So I was like, just break off a piece, don't worry, you don't have to cut it. You like, bite the chocolate. When you're almost done with that chocolate, when you think you've got like, when you're like, you know you're almost there, then do the cheese. And everybody liked it. And that's what this is reminding me of. It's not the same exactly, but it's still good. Again, 7 out of 10. So now, going back, to everything working out, I went downstairs. I was waiting. It was a very short wait. Because previously when I went down there, one of the ladies that works here, she was asking me about something, and it was related to the move out and everything. And I was just like, I just wanted to make sure that like I got everything here settled. You know, can I bring a car up? Where can I bring a car up? If I can, what can I do about a cart? Because the maintenance guy said that, you know, that was the last time I was able to use his cart or whatever. And so I was trying to make sure I could get everything I needed first before I did anything. You know, it's one of those situations where you don't ask for forgiveness. You ask for permission because you want to have everything set up. And also, I wouldn't have been able to get into the fucking building otherwise. Or wouldn't have been able to get my car where I needed it to. So, I'm like, there's only 2 cars that are available to be able to charge. And so, I didn't even have to call customer service, which was good. I just needed to book it. And it was like, if you do, you're just going to get charged X amount, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, fine, that's still cheaper than if I went and got a U-Haul truck. And I mean, like, even just an F-150 style truck. Because I was going to get the insurance. I always get insurance, it doesn't matter. And those things already have insurance. You don't have to worry about it. Like, little blink cars, like, again, they need to make more of them happen because it's a good fucking deal. But they need to revamp their fucking app because the app sucks ass. It's better with a newer phone. I know. But the app still sucks ass. Because, like, literally at the bottom, my navigation was over the button to the point where, like, I had like a tail sliver and I was like, okay. So, the other day, talked to her, she's like, yeah, we'll be able to help make that work. And I'm like, cool. So today I go back downstairs and I'm like, I'm kind of waiting because I'm like, okay, today's going to be the day if I can pull this off, if I can make sure we can get a cart and everything. So she's there kind of like doing the thing that she was doing the other day before. Other guy, poor him, he was still waiting on his fucking case manager. She's just talking to me through it, and she's like, okay, yeah, so what we need to do is we need to go downstairs, we need to talk to, like, she's kind of like talking about what she needs to do behind the scenes, blah, 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 wait here. Okay, cool. Then she comes out, she gives me a little piece of paper with her contact information on it. She's like, let's go downstairs, talk to the security guy so he knows who you are. When we're talking to him, I'm like, this is going to be what the car looks like, because I want him to know what he's in for as well. And they were like, okay, well now we're going to go ahead and, attempt to get a cart. And I'm like, cool, I am going to go do some financial stuff at the Wells Fargo. I had to pull the money out of my GR and then dump it right back into the Wells Fargo. So that's taken care of as well. And I didn't call her because I was like on the way back to I had just like booked it, but it hadn't charged me yet, but it gives you an hour. So it gives you an hour to be able to get your booking taken care of. Which I had known it did something like that. I'd never known how long it was. Because I was always right down the street from one when I was living at the last place. And so, I'm like, how do I get there from here? Well, the train station's right down the street. Okay. Hop on a train station, head down to USC, get off, walk to the spot. I'd open the app, and it was available again. My booking had been essentially canceled because I hadn't actually connected. So I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do this. Walk up. Bluetooth works just fine. Much bigger problem than the last phone I had. Let me check my time. It's also my battery's pretty low. I guess I could plug you in. Duh. Here's your battery. Charger rather. The battery's in the phone. God damn, my back hurts. My whole body hurts. Because, you know, been moving. So anyway, get down there, sort it out, get the car thing works out just fine. Got to take a couple of photos, whatever, no big deal. Because they want you to, like, take photos of the outside, take photos of the inside, so that, you know, there's accountability, which makes sense. Oh, man. Goddamn kombucha. It's funny, I will put that on pause and I'll come back to it. When I was working at the last job that I had, which was working at a detox, I thought it was more rehab-esque, and, you know, I wasn't sure exactly how intensive this detox thing was. It was pretty fucking intensive, to the point where I was becoming more suicidal, and I was glad they fired me. One of my coworkers, he was like, man, I can't stand kombucha. I was like, you know, I used to be like that until I found one that I liked. I think it was either this one or another of the GTs that I really like the trilogy. I was like, you can try some of mine if you really want, if you want to try some out just to see. And so I kind of peer pressured him a little bit. But, you know, he seemed willing. I wasn't like, I wasn't trying to shove it in his face or anything. He was like, you can waterfall it if you want, you know, and he's like, nah, it tastes too much like vinegar. I was like, I will, you know, you tried, and that's cool. Like, the fact that you even tried. Some people won't. Then I was like, well, more for me, too. But, like, I don't taste the vinegar, really. So, what I'm thinking is he probably likes bitter stuff. That's my guess. Oh, man. That's my guess. Could be wrong. I'm gonna just drink the other one. Fuck it, I don't care. I bought both of them so I could drink them. That one was the gingerberry from GT's. This is the Simple Truth, like Kroger version, strawberry lemonade. It's pretty good too. They have like strawberry hibiscus. Ugh. Fuck hibiscus. I don't know what flowers I might want to eat. So far, I can't think of any that I like. Like rose water, what the fuck? It's so good. Oh, man. It's my oldest computer. This is I think it was a Reddit user who died, I believe, Jerry Blake. And I wanted to commemorate them way back in the day when it happened. I think I'm gonna sit down. Ass hurts. Oh. I might just like raise you up and drop you down, as it were, so that I can. Oh man, yeah. Let's knock that up just a little bit. But so I got the car. So like I said, you know, I talked to him, I talked to them, talked to her. She's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to figure out the thing. I go up there, I do the money thing, no big deal. I go take the train all the way down to USC. I get the car, do the photos and stuff, even though the app is still stupid. And then get the car, drive over to my storage unit, shove as much in, and I'm thinking while I'm in there, so I'm packing everything I can, right? And I'm glad that I pre-packaged everything because like I didn't like try to condense anything. I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna do that. It would have been a good idea, but it wasn't necessary. And that's the thing that's important. It wasn't necessary. Like some of the boxes are pretty fucking light and they could use a little bit more bulk, whatever. And one box specifically is very heavy because it has a lot of that kitchen shit in it. But that said, everything fit in the car just fine. I had to, kind of maneuver some things around and like reorganize, but it wasn't much. Didn't have to do too much, which was nice. And so I was thinking of just closing it out, but then I thought better of it. And I was like, you know what? I'll wait. Because I still got to come back anyway to drop the car off. I still got to come back in the area because even though it's not exactly close, it was like the right hand, it's like if you look at a like right triangle, it was at the 90-degree point kind of thing. In kind of, in position between like where I'm at, where it was, and all that stuff. I was like, all right, let's do that. Let's just go up there and then let's just see. Excuse me. So I pull up and I pull into the exit, and he's like, "You're in the wrong lane." I was like, "I know. I just wanted to make sure I could even be here." He's like, "Yeah, we got your cart." I was like, "Awesome." And so as I'm about to like pull back to like reposition, he's like, "Yeah, they got it in the office. Just ask security." I was like, "Fuck yeah." And he's just go in there, do the thing, blah blah. So he walks over, he scans his card to let me in, which was awesome. And these cars are electric, which is great. And it was in an electric spot, and I didn't start charging it. I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna deal with that right now. Just had to move the cone that was in the way. Similar yet different enough. This mustache, I swear to fucking God, you will see me do that more often than anything else at this point. This motherfucker gets in my way all the time. I should probably get some mustache waxed, but I'm poor. God damn it. It just feels like it won't stop. It's so annoying. So I can get in there. I go in, get the cart, and I'm thinking it's going to take at least 4 trips. It takes 3. And the third trip, I only had 3 boxes left. So that worked out really well too. Got everything in, and then I was going to be on my way to Ralph's because I was thinking about the QB mayo, and I was thinking about the kombucha. And then I was like, oh wait, I got to go tell the fucking storage unit I'm done. But before I had left, I had made sure it was clean. Because, I'm polite and shit. I'm a polite son of a bitch. My mama raised me wrong, but I learned some of the right things in the process. And so, while I was on my way to that Ralph's, I was like, oh wait, gotta go. So then I turned down the main street that, the storage unit on. I'm driving through downtown Los Angeles, and it's like, okay, yeah, driving sucks. I hate driving. I don't want to drive, but this is necessary. I'm glad I do not drive on a regular fucking basis because holy fucking shit, people suck at driving. And so do I, but I know that I suck, and so I do everything that I can to not suck. Whereas there's so many other people who seem to not give a shit. Like, the amount of people who took the one car length that I had between me and another car and just filled it in with their own fucking selves. Because I'm like, motherfuckers. So I get road rage easily out here, which is another reason why it's a good thing I don't drive. Get down there, talk to the guy. He's really cool, which is great, but the company sucks. extra space storage, fuck you guys. I am glad I'm fucking out of there. I don't have to pay 120 goddamn dollars every fucking month anymore just so I can exist. Just so the things that I have in my life can exist. When it was supposed to be 60. But the employees have always been good. It's the company who sucks. And that's usually how it works from what my experience is. Usually the company sucks, the employees are good. So I get down there and tell him. He's like, yeah, it's going to be like maybe 10, 15 minutes. I was like, oh, you want me to wait down? He's like, oh, you don't have to wait. You know, you can head on out. I'm just going to go up there. I'm going to check it. And then I come back down and do my thing in the computer. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Get out, head towards the Ralph's. I think it's at a different intersection. So I'm kind of going the right way. But then I'm also like, I need to change directions because I was approaching it from a wrong angle. So in Los Angeles, taking a left turn is 95% of the time a terrible fucking idea. Even if you have the light. If you have the light and you have a specifically controlled turn, left turn arrow, that is the only time you should be taking a left turn in Los Angeles. Seriously. It is a fucking terrible city to drive in general, but taking left turns is worse. The Ralph's that's over by USC is on the southeast corner. So from your perspective, it's down here. So you've got the southeast. Well, the southeast corner is the worst fucking corner for something like that. If it was on the northwest corner, it'd be a lot easier. Because of the way, turn-ins and all that shit work in this specific situation and where I was coming from. So, going right, turning right into it is always the better idea. So, I was like, okay, I'll just take a detour further south. I ended up cutting through, I think, Greek Row, or thereabouts, which is where all the fraternities are. It was somewhere in that area. I don't think it was specifically Greek Row. I think Greek Row is actually a little further east. Doesn't matter, but there's a lot of, there's just a lot of housing in that area. And, it's what's it called? Residential, because of housing. So I'm like, all right, let's drive slow, blah, blah, blah. And then I get up on the main road on Vermont, which is where it was actually at, because I was thinking it was on Hoover. And I think it's on Hoover or Vermont and Jefferson. I could be wrong. Maybe it was Adams. I think it was Adams, though. Anyway, I get up to the Ralph's. I get in there. I find the goodies. I almost didn't find the kombucha, but then I was like, let me track back and see. And I was like, maybe it's in the booze section, and it was. So I got everything. I had everything moved out. I had gotten an email on my way back while I was in the grocery store. I got the email from the storage place. Fuck, man. It's funny. I posted a GIF on the Discord of my gaming friends, like how I was done everything, and I used this. I was like, relief. Should have used exhausted or something. What I really should have done was use the Frodo meme. But I forgot about it. But it doesn't matter. It's done. And it's just kind of how I feel. It was, and yeah, everything worked out. I went, put the car back. Still a pain in the ass to use the app, but it still worked for the most part anyway. Walked back to, walked across the street to get on the bus. Got on the bus. Made my way back here. And I got a little package delivered today. I'm going to open them up with my knife. But not my kitchen knife. Use my utility knife. My kitchen knife is specifically used to cut food. And what I got was something that is technically bigger than I expected. So it she said. But I got me some kitchen tongs. These are much bigger than I thought. I was thinking they were going to be kind of like maybe down there and a bit skinnier, but like these are really good for like flipping meat. Without like, and I have a pair somewhere of like the big like barbecue style chicken, tongs, the clackers. The ones you always clack before you use. I was supposed to have a delivery yesterday with my yeast. So hopefully that didn't go bad en route. Sorry, en route. My French was not accurate. God damn it. Yeah, park the Red Sea, motherfucker. And it never grows long enough because I either end up biting into it and chopping it off, or I end up ripping it out because it gets in my fucking way. And I'm trying to get it to grow long enough. We'll see. But yeah. When it comes to getting shit done, 8 out of 10. A couple snags that weren't really super snags, just mostly me and my ADHD. And now what I'm going to do is I got to start like unpacking each box. And this is one of the things that I've not done in the past because I've never really felt like I've had a place to stay. And I don't know how long I'm going to stay here, but again, I'm going to try to live here as long as humanly possible. Until I'm dead or I find something better. There's always other options, like being homeless again because of stupid shit. But when it comes to my choice to live here, my choice is I will stay here until I'm dead, or I will stay here until I find something better that obviously I can afford and blah, 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 blah. But in order to move in, to really feel moved in, I need to do what I've already been doing, which is when I take stuff out of a box, I break that box down. Because I haven't really done that since I got to Los Angeles. A little bit when I was living in Pasadena for the first time, when I first got done being homeless, and I had really nothing. And so I was building a life. But I didn't have like shelves or anything, because again, even then, I wasn't sure I was going to stick around. And then, I started getting shelves, because I was like, well, I've got a little bit more stuff, and I don't want everything on the fucking floor. Especially because where I was living at was in that sober living that had bed bugs, and of course it was the bed itself. I still have something I bought from Alaska. More than one thing. One thing that's going to be less useful now is my heater. I bought this in Alaska. I flew on an airplane with it, and it still functions very efficiently. I probably won't need it because I've got central AC and air, or heat and air. Man, it's a little overwhelming, especially because I'm exhausted. I'm gonna get me some. Sorry for the gut shot. I'm tired. Boom. Psyllium husk from good old Kirkland. I gotta order some stuff from them relatively soon that I can really only get from them, other than like I'm gonna use water for this. I want to get milk from them just because like it's cheap enough and you get 2 gallons. Plus some other stuff that I need to get from them anyway. But I can't take like any meds or anything while, for at least another 2 hours because of the way psyllium husk works, and it can prevent absorption of your medications and stuff like that. So, am I still rolling? Yeah. That's 40 minutes. And I'm pretty much done, I think. Again, I don't know how this is all going to work out. It's funny, whenever I pick up those whenever I'm like dealing with those racks, I'll show you. A little more close up. These racks right here. They always feel heavier than they really are. Well, no, they're always heavy. They always feel bigger while I am generally manhandling them. But then when I put them in place, because obviously, like I'm in part of the space in which I am. Oh shit, got some QB on me. But like, they always feel like they're bigger than they are when I'm handling them. When I put them on the floor, because I didn't drop them, because that would have been a bad idea. When I put them on the floor, I was like, wow, this might work. And I might actually change out this whole phone situation too. Not the phone itself, but like my phone plan. Because they're offering for the first 2 months free internet. It's through AT&T. And then after that, it's like $25 a month. It's like 100 megabits, 100 megabits up and down. Which at first I was like, that seems kind of low. But then I did testing not only on the phone itself, but then like through my hotspot on my computer. My internet here sucks. T-Mobile sucks in this building. So I might have to do that. And I'm on 5G. But that'll wait. I gotta get groceries so I can start making things like bread for pizzas, for bread. I gotta get like steel wool to clean my cast iron. I have appointments that I gotta take care of. I gotta call people to reschedule certain ones. I have stuff I gotta do, but one thing I don't have to do is go to fucking work. And I might not even try, we'll see in the next couple months, but mostly in the next month and a half or so, because like June would be the latest, I think. So 2.5 months-ish. 3, really, because March only just started. But beginning of June would be the latest for me to start doing some kind of training to be like peer support specialist again. Right now, man, I just need to get my shit settled, because I'm finally here. Because
for the last almost week now, I haven't been finally here. I've been here and there. There being the storage unit. But now that everything is inside this room, inside this apartment, I and the rest of me is here. You know, I got my luggage. I got, you know, my winter clothes. You know, I've got a couple, you know, some various other like utilitarian clothing items like towels and wash rags and shit. You know, kitchen supplies and hell. It's a piece of abstract art that I bought on Etsy. Oh, I don't know where it's gonna go. And like, it can be either or, you know, like that could be, it can be kind of like the ocean with like particulates and stuff, and that's where the sun's going. Or it could be, you know, the other way around, and that's, you know, the sky going down into, you know, the earth and stuff. Or it could be out in space. There's where the earth would be, and now you're going further out into space, you know. Who knows? That's why I liked it. Cost me like $30. And I'm sure that there will be times where I will fall back into some of my old habits. And I will try to overcome them. Again, I'm already trying by, like, I want to tear down these boxes. Because there hasn't been a time in my life in the last 15 years where I felt like I lived somewhere that I really truly belong there. I still don't feel like I belong here. Imposter syndrome is still there. But I want to try to belong here, which is different. I want to feel like this is my home. Because like the other day, I think I was going through it. I don't know if I was actually on camera doing it. I think I was. Where I basically broke down. I realized that within the first 30 years of my life, I had lived in 20 different places. 5 of those were me living on my own. And, you know, the fact that we were constantly moving, and oftentimes it was following my abusive stepdad, or it was because of, in some way or another, my abusive stepdad. Either because he caused us to need to move out of that place, or we were following him because my mother couldn't stand to be a single mother for any period of time, which I get it, but at the same time, like, don't tell the kid you're going to fucking abort him then. Or that you wanted to. You know, take up the responsibility that, like, and I get it. Like, I understand. And while there are things that, you know, she has not told me, and I understand there's the possibility that I am a rape baby, I don't know, because pretty much every woman has been raped, unfortunately. It just seems to be virtually 100%. At least sometime in their life. And it's terrible, and I get that. And I am not trying to diminish that whatsoever. It's not my fault that she was treated like shit. Therefore, she doesn't have a right to treat me like shit. No matter the circumstances of even if it was consensual. And she's just like, well, fuck, abortion is a big problem in, you know, the Catholic community and blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever her, you know, she made her choice, and that's fine. And I understand that. But she also made the choice to be a fucking terrible person to that little baby boy. And that's not my fucking fault. And so I will always be angry at her until she's fucking dead. yeah, forgiveness is the gift you give yourself. I don't know if I have that ability right now. I don't know if I ever will. And to bring it back to the fact that we're constantly chasing this asshole that was abusive to her and to me. So I never felt like, A, I was safe in my own home, but then that we were safe long enough to have a home, to have a place that felt like home. And it was only until I lived by my fucking self at roughly 25 years old. Yeah, 25 years old. For 5 years by myself, generally fine, until my car broke down. I had to get another one, and that, put strain on me monetarily. Because if you pay people more, they're not as stressed out. The fact that I was able to do more for myself by myself, and to feel more at home by myself, and to feel safer in a space like that by myself, without her influence. There were some, but she wasn't there. She wasn't paying my rent. The whole thing was mine. I was paying the rent. I was living that place. Nobody else had keys to the spot. And since then, obviously after I lost that job and everything and all the bullshit from there, and then coming out to Los Angeles and being homeless and living in the living room of an apartment with, at least one roommate who hated me, because I wasn't a musician. And then all the other shit that happened after the fact. Again, nearly 20 years, 19 years after the first attempt, I'm going to try again to do it by myself, so to speak. Obviously, I've got external help, which that works and I like it, of course. I'm not going to dismiss that. But, the living space and the lack of roommates and the lack of parental figures and all that shit. I'm going to try to do this myself again. And the process requires that I start pulling shit out of those boxes, figuring out where that shit needs to be, throwing it away if it doesn't have a place, and tearing those boxes up and throwing them down the trash chute. Because one, they're kind of old. But two, it's symbolic. And three, it doesn't give me anything to fall back on. Also, part of a problem with ADHD is what they call doom boxes. Doom, D-O-O-M, didn't organize, only moved. Gotta get rid of those. Gotta try to organize some shit. And then I'll replace them with baskets. So at least, one, they'll be more visible. But two, ideally at least, the visibility will also make it to where the organization is a little more apparent. And I plugged in the hard drive to the old computer. So now I have 3 computers. Only one of which is really functional. The other 2 are kind of there just as side bitches. Because their batteries just don't fucking, literally you unplug them, they turn on. And so they're basically going to be used for TV, shit on the side. I might use the second one of the 3 to possibly use as an alternative, look shit up kind of situation, but I probably won't. Because the main computer I have, it does quite a bit. And if I get that internet, I'll at least have decent speeds. I think. I hope. But I think at this point also, I'm done for the day. Yeah. Have fun.